If you want to make a great New York style pizza, the dough is really important to get right. My recent pizzas have rivaled some of my favorite shops in New York. And I finally started to formalize my recipe, so I'm going to share it today. Real bakers think in grams and percentages. That's not how we're doing this. Start with the water and use 1 cup for every dough ball you want this to turn into. Use a teaspoon of yeast for every 4 cups of water. Use a teaspoon of sugar for every cup of water, and a teaspoon of salt for each cup as well. But mix the salt in with the flour like I'm doing here. The yeast doesn't like getting hit with the salt right away. You don't need to measure the flour. Just keep putting it in until it's ready to knead. Put a splash of oil right into the mix, about a tablespoon for each cup of water. Just keep dumping in flour and mixing until it's ready to dump out on the table and knead it by hand. Basically as soon as your wrist gets tired. Now we just knead the dough and keep flouring up your hands as you go along. Some people complain that I'm adding too much extra flour during this process, but I've never really had to worry about that. A good rule of thumb is to get 1 extra cup of flour out as soon as you dump it on the table, and just try to make sure you don't use more than that extra cup. But if you need a little bit more, don't stress about it. This basically always works out. Do this as long as you want, but make sure it's at least about 6 minutes. When you're done, roll it out a little bit and cut it into sections. If you used 4 cups of water, you should have enough dough for 4 16 to 18-inch pizzas. But if you want 20 inches, you should be able to get 3 dough balls out of 4 cups of water. So I'll make 3 dough balls here, and then I'll cut 1 little extra piece to set aside for testing. I always like to cook a sample of this dough right away just to see how it went. It's also hard not to think about bread while you're doing this, so treat yourself. So just get some big Tupperware containers, oil them up, and put your dough balls in there. These are going to sit in the fridge for at least 24 hours, but not more than 48. I'll just put in some parchment paper to separate these two. Clean up the kitchen before your wife sees what you did. So now we got our 3 dough balls here and our little sample. We'll take them down to the basement fridge. This is where we store all our beer, pizza dough, and Diet Coke. We'll just grab one of these while we're down here. This is a fun party trick you can do with a wedding ring. I never take it off.